So we've been learning about some extraordinary stories of heroism of the hostages now that they've been released. And it's just beyond overwhelming. This is historic heroism. When you look back into Jewish history, it matches the great stories we know about from the Holocaust, and if you go further and further back. I'm telling you, I want to share with you just one or two of them. One of the most striking ones for me is the story of Rom Braslavski, who you can see here. Okay? Rom, and I want to also get you a picture of him in captivity, just so you can see how terribly, terribly, terribly he was treated. And look how utterly emaciated he looks. He was repeatedly pressured to convert to Islam. His captors even offered him more food if he would renounce his faith. But he always refused. And he said that he told himself he was a strong Jew. And that helped him to endure. This is Segev Kalfan and Rom Braslavski, two proud, strong Jews next to each other. They're both former hostages. But I want to read you a bit more about Rom. Okay, so he had forced conversion attempts. He was pressured to convert to Islam, told to get more food if he did. Tortured and faced deprivation. He was held in multiple rooms, some containing the corpses of other hostages. My God. He suffered brutal physical and psychological abuse under Palestinian Islamic Jihad, including severe beatings and denial of basic hygiene. Days before being freed, his captors force-fed him, causing long-term health damage. They told him Israel had fallen, that 3,000 soldiers were dead, and they showed him photos of hostages square saying, your picture isn't there, no one's talking about you. Can you imagine? And look at this. I'm speechless. Despite everything, he refused to convert every single time, and the moment he returned home, what does he do? He put on his tefillin, which for those of you who don't know is a Torah commandment, a Jewish commandment where we wrap this objects on our arm and on our head, and within them, these two black boxes, they contain Torah verses, and it's sort of a symbol of our dedication, of our heart, our action, our thoughts to God, to Torah. Now free, his mother says he often stands by the window and whispers, all I want is the sky, the sun, and the air, freedom. In fact, I want to get up a picture. I think I saw a picture of him just looking up at the sky, and all he wanted to do was just look up at the sky, not even be on his phone. Here we go. Look at this. Family is saying Rom still has a hard time meeting people. He's not ready to be on his phone yet. All he wants to do is look at the sky because, of course, he was in a dungeon for so long, in tunnels for so long, not being able to see natural light. The heroism is just extraordinary. Just extraordinary. I want to show you another example of heroism in a moment. But just think about this. Let's just think about this for a second. Someone has all their potential for hope almost seemingly taken away, being told he's being forgotten about, seeing dead corpses, this is going to be your fate. It's over. You don't even see natural light, and you're told, but there is a way for you to improve your existence a bit. Just drop your commitment to your God, the God of Israel. Well, it turned out that was actually the one thing that he could still rely on and count on. That was the one thing that connected him to his faith. You know, we know this, by the way, throughout history, that there were stories of even non-religious Jews who were told to, spit on a Torah scroll during the Holocaust, and they refused. Can you imagine what we're seeing here? What this is being revealed to us is that behind every single Jew, whether they call themselves religious or not, is an unshakable, unwavering commitment to their God and to their Torah and to their people. I've got to tell you, by the way, I think that must have made a serious impression on Hamas and or Palestinian Islamic Jihad, whoever came into contact with the hostages. Let me tell you something, that all the people, all the Gazans who interacted with the hostages, there is no doubt in my mind that all of them, even if they might not realize it consciously, will have been left with something very, very profound a very profound impression. Even if they might not like to admit it, I think they'll know that they are dealing with a formidable opponent. I have no doubt that Iran and Hezbollah know that now. The amount of rockets they rained down on Israel, what did they achieve? How many casualties did they achieve? They must see it. But of course, the enemy just becomes more and more desperate. I think it's probably very intimidating for them, very eye-opening. It certainly should be eye-opening for the Jewish people. That level of commitment, I think it's just extraordinary. In fact, what I would say to you, dear viewer, is that we know about the great commitment of old of, Jews throughout history, forced to convert, and if not, well, then they'll be killed. We're seeing that same level of dedication, perhaps even greater, because many of the hostages didn't have much of a religious, some of them, I can't speak for all of them, but some of them didn't have much were very well versed in religious, in the Torah, in religious literature, in observance. And yet there was something there that made them refuse to turn their back on any of that. Despite being bullied, tortured, oppressed, what's been revealed to all of us, it's been a revelation over the past 2 years, is that the Jew simply, behind every single Jew, no matter how far they may seem, just dig a little bit and you'll see this unwavering commitment to God, to their Jewishness. I'm reminded of a story of the Lubavitch Rebbe, who was approached by a rabbi who said, I'm doing Kiruv Rechokim, which means to outreach to those Jews who are far away from their Jewishness. And the Rebbe responded, he says, and who are you to say who is close or far from their God? Okay, so I'm sure the guy would have responded. He said, well, I just mean observance. I didn't know observance. What he's trying to get at there is every single Jew, whether he knows it or not, you dig a little bit, you'll find this deep, incredible, profound connection. That no matter how much you throw at them, they will be resolute. It's no accident at all that the first miracle the Jewish people experienced on their journey was when Moses, before taking them out of Egypt, he sees the burning bush. We're told that this symbol of a bush that keeps burning but is not consumed represented the Jewish people. They are the bush that is continually burned but is not consumed throughout history. That's us. Burned, but we will not be consumed. We will stick to our God, to our Torah, to our Jewishness, despite being burned, despite being tortured. And we're told that when Moses said, who are you? And who shall I say that is sending me to take the Jews out? God said, he said that his name was I am that I am, or I will be that which I will be. The rabbis tell us that what he meant was, just as I'm with them in this suffering, in this exile, this Egyptian slavery, so too will I be with them in future sufferings, in future exiles as well. I think this is becoming clear for all of us to see. It really is. Let me show you another example. This is Omer Shem Tov, who spoke about finding God in captivity. Have a watch of this.
ישר הורידו אותי למנהרה, והייתי בתוך תא קטנטן, היה 40 מטר מתחת לאדמה. לא יכולתי לעמוד בתוך התא, לא יכולתי לפרוס את הידיים מצד לצד. חושך מוחלט, כשאני אומר חושך מוחלט זה, אתה לא רואה כלום, שום דבר, אין צללים, אין כלום. ודווקא בתוך החושך הזה, מצאתי הכי הרבה אור. אני לא יודע למה, ואני חושב שזה היה תפילות ששלחו לי. תפילות, אנרגיה, איך תרצו לקרוא לזה, זה לא משנה. שהרגשתי אותם, והרגשתי אותם הכי חזק שיכול להיות. והייתי הייתי כל ערב לפני שהייתי הולך לישון, היה לי אלה 5 דקות כאלה, שהייתי מדבר עם אלוהים, וכשהייתי מתחיל את השיחה, כשאני מספר את הסיפור, אני אומר, בדרך כלל אנשים שהם מדברים עם אלוהים, אז הם מבקשים משהו מאלוהים. אני רוצה בית יותר גדול, אני רוצה גינה יותר גדולה, אני רוצה אוטו, אני רוצה בריאות, מה שהם צריכים מבקשים מאלוהים. אבל אף אחד לא שואל אותו מה איתו. אז אני התחלתי בלשאול אותו, השם, מה שלומך? אבא, איך אתה? איך עבר עליך היום? אתה צריך משהו? אם אתה צריך תגיד לי, אני אעשה אותו. ואז הייתי אומר תודה. תודה על כל מה שיש לי, תודה על האוויר בריאות שיש לי, תודה על האוכל שיש לי, על הצלחת, גם אם זה חצי פרוסת לחם ביום. תודה על הכל, על הכל, על הכל, על הכל, לא משנה מה זה, כל מה שיש לי וכל מה שאין לי. ואז הייתי מבקש רכב יותר גדול. ואני יכול להגיד שאם יש משהו שאני מתגעגע אליו בשבי, זה הדרך שבה הייתי מדבר עם השם. עד היום אני מנסה לעשות את זה, פעמים אחדות, שאני מצליח להרגיש אותו ברמה שהרגשתי אותו שם. כי שם הייתי מדבר איתו, והייתי רואה אותו מולי, הייתי מרגיש אותו, ממש מרגיש אותו. וזה פתאום איזה... אתה מרגיש את הלב שלך מתרחב, וחיוך עולה לך על הפנים, באמצע חושך, באמצע כלום כאילו. אין כלום מסביבך, מה יכול לגרום לך להיות שמח? ואתה מרגיש אור ענק, אור ענק. וברוך השם, ברוך השם.
Just utterly speechless. You've got to understand, he's 40 meters underground in total darkness. And he says he would speak to God. Pitch black tunnel, no space to stand or stretch. He found light in prayer. Thank God for every breath, every crumb of food. Saying that he could feel God's presence so strongly it made him smile. Saying that he could really feel him. Where does this come from? More than that, the fact that he said, I would ask God, what do you need of me? What do you need? How are you doing? This is unbelievably profound, something that most religions seem to miss, that it just came intuitively to him. That part of the Torah's radical message is that you're here because God needs you. Because he is vulnerable to a relationship with you. You mean something to him. If you're not with him, he suffers, he's affected. That is so profound. Most religions say, believe in God and you'll get to heaven. Otherwise, you can burn in hell. It's not going to affect him. The Jewish message was, God actually created you because he really does seek a relationship with you. And if you're not there with him, he suffers. That was a profound realization on his part that just came totally intuitively. How do we explain all of this? I have to say that I look at these verses, like in Deuteronomy, that says, it shall come to pass when all these things have come upon you, the blessing and the curse, and you shall call them in mind among all the nations where the Lord your God has driven you. You shall return to the Lord your God. The Lord your God will turn your captivity and have compassion upon you. He will return and gather you from all the nations. And then he will circumcise your heart and the heart of your seed to love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, that you may live. That's Deuteronomy 30, chapter 1-6. Or Ezekiel, chapter 36, verse 24-28. I will take you from among the nations and gather you out of all the countries, bring you into your own land. I'll sprinkle clean water upon you. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. I'll put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you shall dwell in the land I gave to your fathers, and you shall be my people, and I will be your God. We're seeing living prophecy happen in real time. And as I say, and keep having to emphasize, if you think that we're not seeing, the times of Jewish heroes and spiritual heroism is behind us, we are seeing greatness just as much as has ever been seen in Jewish history. This is truly incredible stuff. Make sure that you share this video. Before we wrap up, I want to share something important with you. The entire anti-Israel movement is built on one central accusation, that in 1948, Israel stole the land, and ever since, Palestinians have simply been resisting. But what if everything we've been told about this story is untrue? What if the real history of 1948 shows not Arabs being forced out, but Jews, while seeking peace, having to fight for their survival against a genocidal enemy that willed its destruction long before Israel's re-establishment? Have a watch of the trailer for our new, groundbreaking and essential documentary entitled What Really Happened in 1948. And if you want to see the full film, just click the link in the video description. In 1948, the world witnessed the rebirth of the Jewish state, the State of Israel. A moment celebrated as a miracle of survival and self-determination after centuries of persecution and the horrors of the Holocaust. Yet for decades, this event has been twisted into a narrative of theft and catastrophe, with the so-called Nakba portrayed as Israel's original sin, where Jews allegedly stole Arab land and displaced innocents in a premeditated act of ethnic cleansing. But what if this story is fundamentally inverted? What if the cause and effect are the other way around? Not Israel aggressively seizing territory and Arabs responding in self-defense, but Arabs, driven by deep-seated hatred, rejecting the Jews' legal and historical rights to live in their ancestral homeland and waging a genocidal war long before Israel's re-establishment. In this JTV Plus documentary, we're going to uncover the unvarnished truth about 1948, the centuries of pogroms and anti-Semitic violence that set the stage, the Arab leaders' explicit calls for extermination, and the defensive war Israel fought to secure its existence. We'll challenge the pervasive lies head-on, showing how Arab rejection of peace wasn't about creating a Palestinian state, but about denying Jews the right to live at all. From the Nazi-allied leader of the Arabs in Palestine, the Mufti al-Husseini, to the forgotten occupations by Jordan and Egypt, when no Palestinian state was even considered, this is the story of a conflict rooted not in displacement, but in whether the Jews deserve to live in their homeland. Join us as we debunk the myths with facts, confront the historical record fairly but firmly, and reveal why 1948 was not an act of aggression, but a righteous response to annihilation. This is what really happened in 1948. To watch this JTV Plus documentary and access much more premium content, click on the link in the video description.